So let's get right into that. That's a good segue.
No
so
way.
Kyle Shanahan was asked today about Brock Purdy. Have you considered putting him on IR? Kyle Shanahan said no. So he's already missed one game. If he goes on IR, he has to miss 4.
Yeah.
So it seems like the reason they haven't put him on IR is they anticipate him coming back within the next few weeks. So if, Mac Jones goes into Tampa, gets lit up, loses,
Yes.
everyone's going to want Brock Purdy to come back.
Yes. I think that's what it is too. I think it's also, if they did put him on IR, Purdy, as well as everyone else know, it would be a benching. It wouldn't be his turf toe. It would be a benching.
Also, they can't tell what's going to happen in the future. They can't tell if Mac's going to stay healthy. He was almost on a stretcher last game until he had a banana. Then he felt a lot better.
But
who knows?
Yeah, my guess is,
if Mac keeps winning and they go back to Brock and it keeps looking like it looked before, all season, what's going to happen to Brock?
If Brock comes, so say Mac beats the Bucks, say Purdy comes back, loses to the Falcons and has another multi-turnover game, and then say that next week, that Giants game, I think it's the
no, Houston.
It will be Texans. Houston. Okay, say he loses that, and then say the Giants game, he has another multi-turnover game, I think they'd bench him. I think at that point, they would bench him. If he has 3 straight multi-turnover games, that's if he comes back. I think
I don't think the leash would be that long, because again, they can always say we're not benching Brock. His toe hurts. He re-aggravated his toe for the 4th time. We sincerely love Brock, and when he's healthy, he is a top 10 quarterback in this league. He just hasn't been this toe. Remember, they did this with Trey, remember? We love Trey. It's just that his finger, he hurt his finger, and it affected him the whole year.
Yeah.
Maybe it did, but they can use the same excuse for Brock.
I definitely think that is my assumption. My assumption is Matt goes into Tampa, and whether he wins or loses, I think it's going to be competitive, and Mac's going to play well. And then the Falcons suck, and then the Texans suck, and then the Giants suck. In my opinion, I said this on a show with my brother. I think if Purdy doesn't come back by the Giants game, he is most likely not coming back this year. Because at that point, you have to think about it. Say Mac rattles off 3 wins. Because if Purdy's not back by the Giants game, that means Mac's still winning. You're not going to put him in for his first game against the Rams. So you're going to let Mac play that. And then at that point, if Mac plays that and wins that, Niners are now 8-1, 8-2. You're not benching him when he's going 8-1, 8-2. And then if the playoffs hit, you're not benching him in the playoffs. So
we've already seen this play out, like with Brock, with Jimmy. When the Niners have one of these quarterbacks go on a run, they let him go on the run. And I think what's interesting is I feel like the Trey Lance era sort of shows what could happen here. I don't think it matters which quarterback the Niners are most invested in.
Mm-hmm.
They were most invested in Trey for a long time, and it didn't get him anywhere.
Yeah.
They're most invested in Brock right now, but if they feel that Mac's better than him, they'll just tell themselves that they're spending that money on Mac, and they'll go with Mac.
Yeah, I think, and that's been my thing.
Isn't that what they said about Brock? Let's just pretend we spent 3 first-round picks on Brock.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just pretend you spent $265 million on Mac.
Yep, and that's my biggest thing, and that's why I circle that Giants game. If Brock isn't playing by that Giants game, this job is Mac Jones's for the rest of the year, unless he gets absolutely choke slammed in a game. But even then, I don't see it, because at that point it's too late to throw Brock in the fire, because then you'd have to put him in against the Rams, which say his toe is still bugging him. You're not going to put him against the Rams when his toe's bugging him. So that if Mac wins that again and he sweeps the Rams and has the Niners at 9-1 or 8-2, bro, there's no way you're going to convince I guarantee you our roster doesn't care. Wait, we're winning. Don't put in Brock. Keep the guy in there.
But I just feel like this isn't over, though. Like, it does. I mean, whether they go back to Brock against Atlanta or they stick with Mac, they can't keep their quarterbacks healthy. So I feel like we're going to see a back and forth all season, and we'll get to see Brock come back, and we'll get to see Mac again with Kittle. Like, and I think it'll be helpful to see what Mac actually looks like with some starters, because he's winning with Kendrick Bourne. What's he look like with
George Kittle?
Kittle and Pearsall and Bourne, who has chemistry with. What does Brock look like with them? We've seen Brock, but I would like to continue to get like.
You want
All
to
right,
know
it's your
what's
turn.
funny too?
All right, it's your turn.
You know what's
Two
funny
quarterback system.
is last week with Brock, everyone wanted to cut Kendrick Bourne. This week with Mac, Kendrick Bourne dropped 150 receiving yards.
True.
Was tearing the Rams
and it's like
apart.
when Bourne dropped one pass, it led to 2 more drops. And I'm not blaming Brock, but with Mac, he dropped one early, and then Mac went over to him and like said something and made him feel like he believed in him, and then he had the game of his life. Maybe there's something to be said for the difference in temperament.
Well, Trent says it. Remember, Trent says Matt keeps it light. He keeps it cool. Like he basically lets you know, like, bro, we're playing football at the end of the day. Like he's commanding the huddle. Whereas everyone says like Brock is super intense. He's like a coach on the field. He's always, getting after you. Maybe some players, just don't
Kendrick,
like
you're
it.
making me look bad. I have a reputation to uphold. I'm getting paid a lot of money. PrizePicks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now. I
actually don't think that Mac is gonna. I think that's why Mac's playing so hard. Is he's like, I'm not sitting down because once I sit down, I know this offense could look like this. Like Mac respects the system. Mm-hmm. Brock thought he was the system, and he's starting to come back down to earth. I think that's why Mac's like, don't care, throwing up, forearm getting worked on, barely walking. I'm still playing, dude. I'm not sitting down.
Yeah, because if I sit down, Adrian Martinez just might ball out. Average Niners fan is a new member. Thank you, Average Niners fan. Corbin B. Official has been a member for 49 months. That's a special member. Thank you. Joseph Ernberg says, Brock, not even top 32. Anyone can do what he does.
I think Brock has the weakest arm in the NFL. I'm talking QB1, QB2, QB3. I think there isn't a player in the NFL that has a weaker arm.
If your interception percentage as a starter is 5.5, that means you're not a starter. That means you're getting benched. So Brock has to work this out real fast. If he keeps throwing multiple picks a game, there'll be no choice. He will essentially bench himself.
Yep.
That's how football works. King Z Drizzy. I mean, just look at the Jameis Winston. Look at Jameis Winston. He was the #1 pick in the draft. He threw a bunch of picks, benched for the rest of his life. This guy was the last pick in the draft. People aren't going to give a shit about what he did in 2023.
And I think people really overestimate like Brock's like debt. Again, most of his money is up front. The Niners do not care, bro. They want to win and they want ticket sales. If you're throwing a lot of picks, they don't care, bro. They will bench you. They will just eat
especially if your backup is good and cheap. King Z Drizzy says, you guys think Mustapha makes an impact this weekend? I do. And I base that on, I don't know, talking to him.
I think he's a lot better than Siegel. So.
David Baker says, is this Trey all over again? Brock? Kind of.
Yeah.
You make a big investment, you instantly regret it. It's Nick for real says, does Mac win us the Super Bowl in 2023?
Yes.
Who knows? Impossible to know. I wonder if Mac would have been mature enough to lead the Niners when he was younger, or if he had to go through maturation and humbling to be what he is now. I don't know. Wink Woe says Purdy for Cousins coming next year.
I think Raheem Morris is going to be fired next year. So I don't know. I don't think Purdy's getting traded. If Mac,
it's an interesting suggestion though, because if you were to trade Purdy, I feel like you should go to a team with the dome.
I'll tell you right now, I think if Mac takes his job, there is not going to be a team in the NFL that takes Purdy with this contract. 0% chance.
Maybe Pittsburgh. They're always so desperate for a quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers could retire.
Maybe.
What about the Rams if Stafford retires? They already got Jimmy on their team.
They have Stetson Bennett, who's better than Brock.
He's like 10 years older than Brock. Also, Humboldt Ivan says, Grant, first time watching the show with Tyler as a guest. He's much better than Ryan. That's random. What?
I love Ryan.
Bench Ryan and start Tyler. I think there's room for both on the team.
I appreciate the compliment, but I love Ryan.
Ryan's technically Tyler's father. You didn't know that.
Yep.
And Joseph Ernberg says, what team would even trade for Brock Purdy? We are effed.
None. I think 0. I think 0. There is a 0% chance someone is willing to give Brock Purdy the deal we gave him, dude.
All right, let's get off quarterbacks for a second. Pause. There's a topic that no one's talking about, and it's sort of popped in my mind because of the Malik Mustapha news. Malik Mustapha tore his ACL for the second time in his life, week 18. That was January. Now, it was just an ACL tear, nothing else, but he's back now. He's practicing. He could play this weekend. Wow. What a recovery, about 9-10 months. Christian Watson?
Watkins.
Watson? Yeah, Watkins.
Wait, Christian Watson. I thought you were talking about Jordan Watkins. It's
The wide receiver for the
Packers.
For the Packers.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL. He's coming back.